Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Starsector Sundays. Or rather, welcome to the first episode of Starsector Sundays, where I'll be playing Starsector. I'll be playing a variety of different ships, probably going to try and change it up every episode. I'll be swapping between my long-running vanilla save and a new modded run specifically for this series. And we're basically going to do a fight or two, and then I'm going to talk about ships. We're going to talk about refitting ships, flying them, etc. And that's going to be the format. But right now, we are on the path for this hegemony bounty. The other thing is I'd like to use this series just to kind of talk about and summarize what I've been up to in the game each week, and honestly, I haven't been up to anything in-game because I've been editing the Colony Crisis guide for 3 weeks. So it's been a break. It's been good to be back, but I don't have a lot of new experimenting or anything that I've been doing, so we're just going to play this fleet with some old favorites of mine that are all pretty reliable ships, and we're going to fight this hegemony bounty. I believe I was building this Aurora originally for some kind of tutorial, but I guess we'll talk about the exact build of this at the end. Safety overrides, antimatter blasters, ion pulsers. You've probably seen this kind of thing before, but I'll cover it and maybe a few other ships at the end of the video. Let's fight Mr. Gentry and his legions. Ooh, this might actually be another opportunity for me to pick up more onslaughts. I was planning on tuning my fleet to be only onslaughts and Anubises, a couple frigates for point runners, but more on that later. Let's focus on the now. Alright, deploying. So, with this fleet, basically our Tempests are going to capture points, while our onslaughts and our Anubises are going to form a line that alternates. So, onslaught, Anubis, and so on. We want to put the Drover just kind of behind them somewhat to provide fighter support. We do have the story reward automated 14th Battle Group Legion here as well. He's got an Alpha Core integrated, so he's going to behave a little differently than the other Onslaught, which is on steady. But while they're behaving or misbehaving, I have an Aurora to pilot, and it is not my normal Aurora, because my usual one has a bunch of Omega weapons and stuff and S-mods. Again, I think I built this as an example of something that could be put together by anyone, including in the early game. All right, let's get another Anubis onto the field so that we have our Onslaught on the left side properly covered. The Onslaughts provide the frontal pressure and duel other ships. The Anubises, mainly they use the Paladins to shoot over the sides of the Onslaught to make sure that they are properly point defended. Okay, let's get the last Drover onto the field. The Drovers are a holdover from an older midline-y fleet that I was doing. They just have, well, they're not truly midline, they have Trident bombers. They do tons of spike damage, that's what you need to know. Okay, let's go in and see how we do. I have high hopes for the fleet as a whole, I'm just not sure how I'll handle driving the Aurora. Let's see here. Let's go deal with that Enforcer on the flank. That's a good first task. Go run him down. Tempest holding him off valiantly. I'm on the way, friend. Okay. Slide in there, throw a Sabo on him. And I didn't quite mean to bump into him, but that's good enough. That's enough to take him down. Okay, and he's overloaded. Drop the shield. Antimatter blaster reloaded. Boom, he's out. Spaced it perfectly, didn't lose any armor. Pretty proud of that one for not having played basically for 3 weeks. Okay, next target will just come in on the Dominator. I think I'm content to leave my ships just as they are, kind of on our side of the chessboard for now. Oh yeah, they're gonna be deploying more ships, so we don't want to try and like encircle. We are still on defense, even if I can perform really well locally. Okay, landed those on the nose. Oh, he's got fire support from, what is that? Onslaught reaching out with the Devastators. Okay, let's back up. The main thing is having me on the flank here is it turns and distracts this whole group of ships. Wait, what's that Anubis doing? He's not in any kind of formation. Okay, let's go ahead and just attach him to the middle of the field. Hopefully he backs up safely. I didn't realize he had slipped and not gotten assigned a waypoint. But yeah, I don't want to go any further up and to the right because they're going to be deploying stuff. Let's just dive in. I don't know if we can flank that. Let's see, maybe we can support one of our allies here doing pressure. Oh yeah. I'm feeling brave. I'm feeling lucky. Let me just glide in here. Okay, back it up, back it up, back it up. Oh, okay, we're overloaded. That's fine. We didn't take much damage. And we dealt a nice little bit of damage there. That Legion is basically out of the fight. Is less than 100 hull. Good job, Onslaught. Okay, okay. I've still got it. That's both Legions down. We could probably push. Hang out for a second. Just want to pressure that. Let's go ahead. We'll get our formation mobile here. Like that. Escorts for the onslaughts, and we'll just use the onslaughts to coordinate fire on a target and just work through their fleet. Ooh. Wait, did I put... No, those Trident Bombers from Aurora. I was like, did I put Trident Bombers on my Anubises? Because that would be really funny. It might be something worth trying. Okay, back it up. And dive in again. Just like so. Perfect. But yeah, this fleet, I've used this before, the Anubis Onslaught combo. I think I saw it on someone else's channel. I don't remember whose, though. Or a live stream, maybe? And it's just highly effective. I feel bad going back and playing any other fleet comp. Just because I haven't found anything that performs quite as well, other than maybe my pure high-tech stuff that I've done occasionally. Okay. And now that they're out of capital ships, we are just going to use our double onslaught here and keep pressuring singular cruisers. This stage, we do not have them outnumbered, but rotate. Drift away. I actually want to get some other ships to help me take down that Dominator. He's now isolated enough that we can go in for the kill. Yeah, or if he's just been flamed out the whole time. Oh, there go his engines. That'll work too. Perfect. Oh, there we go. Finishing blow. Good job, Drover. I've been keeping the Drovers around to kind of observe them, because I don't see a lot of people using the Drover, and I think it might actually be good. It might be good with the Tridents. So maybe we keep those around still. Keep testing. Okay, good work. But yeah, my plan is to try and get back into the swing of, like, live streaming Starsector, like once or twice a week. And then after the stream, like later in the week, whatever I've changed with my fleet or whatever new thing I tried out on stream, I'll then make a more kind of thoughtful and intentional sort of showcase here. Okay, and now we should be good to properly flank targets and stuff. Yeah, just use the Eagle to block the Dominator's line of fire and win that Flux battle. Okay, keep strafing. We need to outstrafe him. Good. This is perfect. Stick to the target. We need him to die. Oop, game stuttered there. That's interesting. Just gonna ignore that Condor and keep using the Eagle to block the Dominator's line of fire, not the Legions. Did I get that name wrong? I'm totally awake. Okay, we're almost fluxed out. He's almost dead, so screw it, dive. Drop a little hard flux due to that back off. Just dive in. Keep tickling him. And there we go. 1 AM blast, and he's good. Good to go. Let's go ahead and cut the escort orders. I think we're good here, just to let our ships spread out and focus targets down. And we have 71% CR remaining. Excellent. Oh, 70%. We are dropping, but we're doing good enough. Get in behind him. I'm looking forward to, I think in the next game version, the Dominator is being buffed, or maybe having its AI changed. I don't remember the exact adjustment notes, but they should be more fearsome next go-round. But I don't know. We never know when the next update will come, so we're just gonna play as is. But every time I've tried to use the Dominator, I have not been happy. Not yet gotten good results out of them. Do you have a Dominator build? Or a Dominator 14th Battle Group build? Let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll give that a try. That can be our call for comments of the week. What is your Dominator build? Have you found a build that works? Okay, bam, Eagle down. Very nice. Anything else? Nope, that is it. Okay. Very good. Now, do I want to salvage that onslaught? I don't know if I need to step up to 3 onslaughts. We didn't even deploy our third one. It's that thing of like, if I dropped the drovers, then yes. Or if I were going to personally pilot an onslaught, that might be something to do. Let's go ahead and we'll recover that onslaught. So if I pilot one, that'll remove the Aurora's deployment points from the pool, and that could work. Okay, take all the goodies, and that's our combat. Don't need any legions, not planning on doing legion stuff. Okay, let's talk about the Aurora briefly. So, safety overrides, expanded magazines, and hardened shields. I think those are all mandatory for this build. Shield conversion front is just my personal preference because I like using a front-locked shield. Makes combat easier for me. 2 antimatter blasters. More than that, firing in a burst, and I found that I was generating too much flux per burst to safely maintain shields. You may be able to use more. I've had someone in my comments recently that said they used 7 antimatter blasters, which feels like a lot, but I'm betting that they are setting up their ship differently than this one. So 2 blasters, those are your burst damage that you'll be manually firing. 3 burst PD lasers up front. You can drop these if you're confident in your ability to use your shield to manage incoming fighters and missiles, or you could reduce them down to regular PD lasers. Hardpoint mounted ion pulsar. This is our primary thing to disable enemy ships, and note that the antimatter blaster and the ion pulsar both receive benefits from expanded magazines. They both get more ammo capacity, and once you SMod expanded magazines in, they'll get faster recharge rate, which will be good. So, ion pulsar disables, the little ion cannons also in the hard points are going to help disable enemy ships, and then in the mediums, I've been experimenting with using pulse lasers, mainly because I prefer weapons that generate hard flux rather than beams, and do a lot of work putting phase lances in these slots, or even heavy burst PD lasers, but I prefer the pulse lasers currently. In the 2 small, kind of weird slots in the back here, I've got nothing. You might want point defense there, especially if you're not running shield conversion front to extend your shield arc. And in the back synergy slot, is that a synergy slot? Yes. Sabo SRM pod. This is how we disable ships primarily. You've seen me just now. I'll roll up to an enemy ship. All the ion pulsars and stuff are firing. I'll throw out a Sabo, which will sit under my shield and then fire out from under it, so they can't point defense the missile down. And then I'll follow that up with the antimatter blasters. That's kind of the strategy. Because we're safety overridden, we can close the gap very quickly, and then back off once flux gets too high. The expensive or advanced version of this build is very similar. Although I haven't refitted this in a while, so it maybe could use some tweaking. But S-modded repair unit is just for me personally, because my engines flame out often, as you've seen in other videos. You can ditch that, especially if you don't have the best of best green skill. This one, which enables another permanent hull mod to be built into ships. But the 2 S-mods I'd recommend are expanded mags, for reasons just discussed, and shield conversion front, mainly just reduce damage taken. I like damage reduction, so that's why I've taken it. You could probably put something else in your S-mod slot here, though, and get a more effective safety over an Aurora. Extended shields, do I even need that? Why did I have extended shields on there? Anyway, don't take extended shields. That is a build mistake that Ducky made. You shouldn't. What was I thinking? Hardened subsystems for more uptime, and then safety overrides, because I'm a big supporter of safety overrides Aurora. It just feels like it works so good. So, going through the weapons again, antimatter blasters in the same spot, pulse laser up front, could swap, I think I actually will swap the ion pulsar into that frontal slot, so the hardpoint has less spread, basically better accuracy, so that's, I think I enjoy that more, because again, I haven't refitted this Aurora in a while, so we'll put the ion pulsar up front, we'll keep the pulse lasers in the turret slots where they can rotate, that's fine. 2 small PD lasers. We might put a third one on there if I felt I needed it. We have the vents and caps to afford it. For safety's sake, maybe we run that. And then up in the front slots here, 2 voltaic cannons, which are threat weapons. I believe in some iteration of this, I also had cryoflamer maybe in the front slot, but your mileage may vary. Anyway, voltaic cannon. Good stats on damage. Costs a lot of flux to fire, but hits on hull or armor generate EMP arcs. Hits on shields have a chance to penetrate. So these are very good at suppressing the enemy, which on the other Aurora build, this role was being served by the ion cannon as a suppression weapon, which is fine, but Voltaic Cannon I think is straight better, except in terms of flux generation, and the Ion Cannon might do better as a sustained firing weapon due to how it works. Whereas the Voltaic Cannon fires its charges and then takes 60 seconds to recharge per charge. So not very often do they fire, but when they fire, they do a lot of work. And then, of course, in the back, there is the Sabo SRM pod still. I've not found a missile that I like better to put in that slot on an Aurora than a Sabo. If you have any suggestions for other missiles, for vanilla, because remember I'm on the unmodded save, let me know down in the comments. That's the fight, that's the build. Since this is the first one, I don't have much else to add. Let me know what you think of the format in the comments. This is probably going to come out to be a 15 or 20-minute video in editing. Is that a good length for you guys? Or should I maybe include 2 or 3 combats, or talk about the entire fleet? Let me know what you want to see in this series going forward, and I'll kind of try and gather all that feedback as we go along and tune the series to the length and the type of stuff that the regular audience may want to see. With that, I will say, Editing Ducky, get to work, and cue the outro. Hey, you made it to the outro. Glad to have you here. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about the ships, particular enemies, etc., let me know down in the comments. Thanks to all the various channel members and Patreon supporters for their continued assistance. It's only due to people like you that I have enough supplies and fuel to keep delivering videos to everyone. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so for as low as $1 using the join button down below for YouTube membership, or by heading over to my Patreon page, link down in the description. The mod list for this episode is also in the video description. See you all in the next one. It's time for me to go back to the editing bits.